What's going on, everybody? Man, I'm back again with another live. Also, guys, before we begin, I want you to know that I make short videos every now. This week, I'm gonna be just dropping that, so just stay tuned. But yes, I make a lives like this on every Sunday or every Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning, right? So for anybody who doesn't know, just so you know, that's what I'll be doing. So if you want to catch up, if you really want to be, with me, that's what I do. But in this video, guys, today I want to talk about how you're being brainwashed, you know. And before I really go far, before I go crazy on this live, I want to make something clear, right? I want to state something very clear, and that is you have to like this message that I'm gonna be discussing today is not for the natural born pussies, right? If you're naturally like if you was because come on guys, we all not equal, even among men. Not all men that you see me walking around are equal. Because for example, how do you know you're a natural born pussy? If if listening to the society that is filthy and dirty and disgusting, if for you that makes you feel comfortable, then that means that's really, really, really your natural, you know, your natural habitat, right? Your natural environment. That's you. Like that's really you. Now, if for example you the type that you feel like now all this feminized ideology going on around the world about men. They wanna they like being a man is like it's a problem. If that makes you actually feel like bad, if they you if when you hear something like that, it makes you feel angry. It makes you feel like yo, well, fuck is these people trying to do to us? Then that means that you the one that I'm actually talking to, and you the one that I'm telling you that nah, what they're doing, what they want to do, you have to understand that it is programmed. It's a program. It's a in it and it started early on, right? See, as a man, right, we all born like men. We all born. Now, obviously, we all male. We all born males, and then you get to become a man. But the process of programming it starts for a male child, it starts at a very young age, right? And if you don't have a father by your side, if you don't have a masculine figure, and if your mom, she's a feminist, then you're actually doomed. Like now, you're not doomed 100% because just like me, for example, take me as an example. I was raised by my mom, right? She was around me. Yeah, she did teach me some about masculinity, but she was still a female. She was still a woman. And everything she said, though it was good, it was straight, but it was still in the lens of a woman. And when I grew up, when I reached at a certain level, I started seeing the world through the lenses, through the wide view of a woman. I thought the world was just warm. I thought the world was just loving. I thought that, people were just all nice, sweet, and shine and rainbow. That's what I thought. You know, I thought that everything was just nice, warm, you know, interesting. So that's what I thought. I thought that, you know, everything is fair, everybody gets to eat, everybody gets to have something, because that's just how my mom raised me. Now, obviously, within me, I still had the voice of my father. I still had the masculine voice in my head, which was like, nah, not everybody get to eat. Not everybody get to touch what you have. Not like you. Yes, it's fine. You can't be greedy about your shit. It's fine. You can tell a motherfucker to shut up. It's fine. You can move somebody if they don't want to move. You can actually get them, move them, and put them on the side. Like you can't do that. But through viewing the world in the eyes of my mom, I wasn't able to do that. You know what I'm saying? It was simply an idea that I was masturbating on. It was simply an idea that I was thinking on, right? And you find out that most men today, most men today, they see the world through that vision, through the lens of a woman. Because most of us, we are raised by our woman. We are raised by our mom. And if our father is in the house, he's simply a bitch. He doesn't have a word. He doesn't have a say so. Because for example, my stepfather, he was a bitch for sure. Because whenever I had a problem, I go talk to him because I'm like, okay, he's the man in the house. So if I go talk to him, he's gonna provide me with a solution. This motherfucker, he was simply telling me, oh, just pray about it or go tell your mom. And I was like, listen, you think I'm dumb? I came to you because I'm expecting you to actually have a solution for me. Like I'm not going to mom because my mom, she's not, come on, she's not gonna get it. I'm coming to you because you're a man. Like we are the same, right? So what I'm feeling, you actually might feel the same way. But it turned out he was a pussy. You know what I'm saying? Because again, pussies they can only relate to women, but they can never relate to a man. You see how I'm talking like this? If it sounds like bad, if it sounds like oh too negative, if in your ears it sounds very who does he think he is, then you know you're naturally a pussy. Because I'm talking about something that is being going around. I'm talking about programming. I'm talking about male program. You know what I'm saying? Whereby we grew, we came from seeing statues of Hercules, from seeing statues of, men who were ripped, men who were holding fires, right? From statues of men fighting lions, tearing them and even though some of they were just exaggerated, but you see that people who really civilized the world, people who won and made a change in the world, these people refer themselves to the gods, refer themselves to the myth, things that really never existed. It just people made them up, just like religion. They made these things up so that they can actually master and and rule over the natural environment through this example, right? So we all as men and even women, but in this, life, we all as men, we needed something to look up to. So they created those myths. They created the Greek mythology with Zeus, with the Poseidon, with the with Achilles, right? We got all these interesting characters to look up to. That's why when Alexander conquered the world, he thought of himself as what? As the son, as a descendant of Zeus, right? When Julius Caesar, he when he got Rome and when he got Rome under his fingers, he thought of himself as a descendant of Alexander the Great, right? So I'm saying this shit that to say that see those things they got destroyed by Christianity, right? And I'm not here to try to change your views on Christianity, but you come to find out that when Christian took over, they destroyed these things that men look up to, that men really wanted. See, we wanted to have something that you can look at and get inspired by that, right? That's why when kids, even back in time, when the fathers were in their houses, the boys when they were asked, "What do you want to be?" They used to say, "Oh, I want to be like my father. I want to be just strong like my father. I want to be as intelligent, as fast, just like my father." No kids, no son, no man, no boy. When he grew up, when he was a kid and they asked him like, "What would you want to be?" and he say, "Oh, I want to be like my mom." That never happened. But today, we having it today. You have boys, little boys. You ask them, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" They're like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe just like my mom, and just I don't know. Like that's what we have today. And the reason why we have today is because on the TV, they're glorifying the image of a mom over the image of a father, and not just that, but they're putting that like it's like we no longer exist literally. Like the male figure It's like we're simply just useless. We're just like a background, you know, character. It's like an NPC. You know, like you have a main character and you have an NPC, like in a video game. The NPC just being there, the NPC just being there to be there. But in reality, it doesn't really exist. It doesn't really matter. So it's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing about people. You know, we we came from having people we looked up to. You know, having men we looked up to now not even having anything to look up to beside the homosexuality and the LGBT whatever community, right? Why? Because that's you like you can't even breathe proper air because whenever you go outside, that's what is in your face. Whenever you go on Instagram, that's what is on your face. You go on YouTube, something like this, you're gonna have a weirdo, you're gonna have a pussy comment. You know, like what he that pussy, I think he deleted it. Yeah, I think he deleted it. He's commenting about about filth, about this life being a comedy. And he said, "What are we talking about?" Now we're talking about programming, brother. We're talking about how men we got programmed, how men we got fooled into really being what we're not. Because you see that you see that the society wants you to be more of a woman in a version of a man instead of actually being a man and understand that there is nothing wrong with being a man. But that program has not really just started today. It started way earlier than today. Like what we're seeing today is just the consequences of the early days. And it is a program because it is something that is consistently consistent into our image, right? It's something that is consistently consistent in our face. When you see on a TV, you're gonna see you're gonna see you know they're posting about women being the warriors. We're having the woman king. Since when a woman is a king, right? Because we know a woman as a queen, but for some reason that is not enough. She has to be a king. When we know a king is the title of a man, a king is the title of a male figure is governing, a tribe or a community or a kingdom, right? And we know she's a female. Like we've known this for days, but now we have a woman king, right? It's like that doesn't make sense because it's like we have a woman king, and soon enough you're gonna hear a queen, a, a, a manly a manly queen. You know what I'm saying? Like we have this weird narrative going on. We have this weird shit going on. Fooling us because they want to accept the version of I call it satanic, I call it demonic because guys, if you abandon who you are naturally, then you're going to really, you're going to become something that you're not. And when you become something that is not of nature, then you will actually decide where because it's not really who you are. It's not really who you're supposed to be. This is not whoever created it is you to be. And there is a reason why women bleed every month. There is why men for some reason we just want strong. We just want to be, protect, you know, provide and be able to take the people of the world. See, naturally men are civilized, but naturally men we are, you know, the bringer of order, right? Not the bringers of equality. So the version of equality, everything being equal, everything being the same, everything men and men fucking each other. Imagine two boys fucking each other. That don't even make sense. These things is just demonic because in a natural state of the world, it do not exist. You know what I'm saying? What is it? What do you think that is? Oh man. Oh, okay, I'm breaking off. Shit. Okay. Can you guys hear me clearly? I don't know. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Shit. Okay, hold on. How about now? Can you guys still hear me though? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. And I will answer your question about what do you think that is. I'm, uh, I'm interested in your perspective. Can you elaborate with this question? What you think that is as a woman? I'm interested in your perspective. Just elaborate on that, and I will break down. I will explain it. Okay, but yeah. So just elaborate on that question, and then I'll answer it to my best understanding. You know. But yeah, so what I'm trying to say, guys, is that you know there is nothing wrong with you being a man, man. Just like as a woman, there's nothing wrong with you being a woman, and you don't need like as a woman. You don't need to scream. You don't like people say that all women are not respected, women are look down upon. Guys, we no longer in that time, that period of time, man. Like in the 1850s or something. Like before that, where women didn't vote and women couldn't do shit because they had to depend on a man, and it was actually forced. See, I strongly disagreed with that one. That meant that okay, a woman she was simply supposed to go along just to follow along just to get along, right? Meaning to just exist and hopefully somebody will take care of her. Now today though, everything has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like men and women, we all making our own. We all really can vote. Black people, we can vote. Everybody can vote. Like you guys, we belong in those old times. So whenever somebody, shit, yeah, man, I'll definitely get the mic shit going on. Wait, okay, you know what? Just give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Guys, I'm going to restart the live. Okay, I'm going to reset the live, and then I'm gonna change the mic. I'm gonna change the mic. Give me a second. I'll be back.